Hello and welcome to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and local partner Sprocket Innovation in Paducah, and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. Welcome back to episode 220 of 10 at 10. It's an even number episode, so we're looking at the news of the last few days and week and trying to see what is it that we can learn about and prepare ourselves to better protect our organizations and our families. So let's just dive into it. We got a number of stories that I want to see if we can get through all of them. First of all, this article came out a couple days ago. It is referring to the 2025 AI threat report, how cyber criminals are weaponizing AI technology. And the headline is that dark web mentions of malicious AI tools spiked 200%. So what does all that mean? That means there are tools that are growing like crazy that are AI based, that are bad guys are looking at and using and helping them to better break into your organization. There is a new tool that is, or new phrase that is AI as a service, AI as a service, like software as a service, but now it's AI as a service, and it can help to create targeted malicious activity like a business email compromise and phishing and different things to target and modify it so it targets your organization much cheaper and much more effective than previously. All that to say is that as the bad guy evolves their tactics, we need to evolve our protections. So make sure that we're continuing to follow best practices and stay up and keeping an eye on how things are changing. All right, another one. And I bet I've been asked this question about a dozen times over the last month. And I saw this, I was like, you know what? It's actually probably be something good to talk about with you. The headline is a question: who is sending those scammy text messages about unpaid tolls? You know, there's often that I will drive across a bridge and not realize it has a toll. I accept that. But typically they don't know my cell phone number. So the fact that I'm getting a text message from an organization that I don't think has my cell phone number is probably a pretty good indicator that it is not real and it's a scam. So let me be clear. You know, it may say $5, it may $7, it may say $25 in unpaid tolls. They don't want your $7. They want your credit card number. If you logged into something to pay a fake road toll, not only did they get the $7 you think you're paying, but they're going to have your credit card number so that they can get whatever else that you don't pay and they want. That's what they're after. You got to think about the techniques and the motives behind these threat actors, and that's what they're wanting. It's a smishing. That's the term for a fake text message. SMS is smishing. But it's the same thing that's been done with clicking links to the Postal Service or Amazon or UPS or whatever, those text messages. In this case, it's wanting you to pay the unpaid tolls. And it's very possible that you drove across a toll bridge and didn't pay the toll. Or they were going to send you a ticket or a bill and you haven't paid it yet. It's very possible. But unless somehow your cell phone number is attached to your license plate, they wouldn't have that. They would have your mailing address. So just be careful. It's a scam. Everybody's getting it and everybody's questioning themselves. The answer is just ignore it. Another one. All right, so 23andMe. 23andMe is a DNA tool, a website where you put in your DNA. They'll send you a swab. Do a swab, send it in, and 23andMe will tell you where your ancestors are from. It'll tell you if you have any long lost cousins or brothers or whatever, sends a lot of information about you. It's actually kind of interesting. I've not done it, but what you're doing is giving your DNA, your biological identifying information, to a company. In this case, 23andMe, but there's others. I'm going to ignore some of the previous things I've talked about and just say 23andMe has filed bankruptcy. That means that they are going to have to sell their assets. Think about 23andMe. What do they have that are actual assets? Their only main asset is your information. So they're going to sell your information. Now they say they're going to sell it to somebody that has like-minded privacy, blah, blah, blah. The reality is you're putting your DNA in the hands of another company, which you've already done that. Now, if it goes to the bankruptcy court, then you're potentially putting your hand or your faith in the hands of some other company that you don't know. The concern with that is you don't know. What you can do and what they're recommending, and if you go to this article, it'll be linked in the show notes. If you go to this article, it's going to request and suggest that you go to their website and delete your data, remove permission to share your data, do all of those things to try the best you can to protect your DNA information. Your DNA has value. It is your personal information. You get the right to disclose how that data is being used, and you can revoke that privilege. You should do it. Now, let me tell you the cynical part of me. Does that matter? Hopefully. But honestly, I don't know. I don't know what processes, internal processes they have, what that triggers, how that looks. I don't know any of those things, but it's better than nothing. So I would recommend, if you have ever given 23andMe your DNA, go erase it now. All right. Next, passwords. If you have heard me, forget the past few years, if you've heard me in the last month, I've talked about strong, unique passwords. Unique meaning that you can't use them anywhere else. And one that somebody else can't be using. Because if you are, and one password gets compromised, then all the places where you use that password are compromised. And if you have to replace one, you're going to replace them all. Well, Cloudflare says from September to November that 41% of successful logins across websites protected by Cloudflare involved compromised passwords. 41%, almost half of all credentials involved passwords that were already compromised. Now, here's the catch. If you have a unique password, then if that gets compromised, all right, you need to change that password, but you don't have to change anywhere else because you're not using it anywhere else. If you're using a password like password, and there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people using it, and it gets compromised by anybody on any website, then you're at risk. So that's bad. If you're using a really strong password, but you're using it at all of the websites that you visit, and one password gets compromised, then you're using it everywhere, or you're compromised everywhere, and you've got to change them everywhere. We've got to have strong, unique passwords. Strong, unique passwords. So anyway, all right, we're going to run out of time, but I got to at least acknowledge the fact that there was a Signal chat app that is making news right now. And we'll talk about this in another time. But let me just say, if you want to read about it, I'll share a link. Signal is similar to WhatsApp in nature. It is a good app for secure communications, but not classified communications. We can talk about that more another time. But anyway, I quick down and dirty, some news that you may have missed that is worth you considering how it impacts the security of your organization. I hope you take to heart some of the things we talked about. And if you have questions, reach out to me. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next week back here on 10 at 10.